Hello YouTube, today we are going to compare Note 3 with LG G2 to see which one is a better phablet in terms of display, hardware, ports, software, speakers, battery and in design and dimensions. So first of all we are going to look into a display of these devices. So guys, Note 3 and G2 have 1080p display but with different screen size and different screen specs. G2 packs 5.2 inches of True HD IPS Plus display and supports 424 pixels per inch, whereas Note 3 packs 5.7 inches of Super AMOLED HD display that supports 386 pixels per inch. Despite the fact G2 has better pixels per inch than Note 3, it's not easy to find out the big difference between the display of these phablets from a naked eye, as both of them looks crystal clear while watching movies and playing games. However, it's totally your choice which one you are liking the most when looking at its display. Now I'm going to max out the brightness on these devices to see which one is going to show us more whites from its display. So first of all, max out the brightness on Note 3 and then on G2. So brightness is at max on both of these devices. So here you can clearly witness that Note 3 is showing us more whites from its display, and that's what I think. So brightness is at max on both of these devices. So brightness is slightly better on Note 3, not too much. Talking about the hardware makes you feel that it's not easy to pick out a winner between these two devices, as both of them packs a Snapdragon 800 processor with different clock speed. G2 clocked at 2.26 GHz quad-core processor, which is slightly lower than the Note 3 2.3 GHz quad-core clock speed. However, it's nice to see that Note 3 packs 3 GB of RAM to compete against G2 2 GB of RAM. Moving towards the GPU of these devices makes you more confused, as both of them packs Adreno 330 GPU, which performs really well in gaming, and this can be witnessed from my uploaded gaming videos on YouTube. If you want to look at benchmarking scores and opening app speed comparison between these two devices, you can have a go at the description links which will direct you to benchmarking and opening app speed comparison of these devices. Now we will have a go at the design and dimensions of these phones. So guys, Note 3 is surrounded with a chrome metal, which some people believe made up of plastic, and on the back we have a removable battery cover, which actually looks like leather but made up of hard plastic to give Note 3 a premium look. So this is how you remove a battery cover from your Note 3 to access micro SD card slot and to access micro SIM slot and to access your battery. On the other hand, LG has reduced the bezels of a G2 to make a good use of its full 5.2-inch HD display, which actually looks good. On the back of LG G2, we have got a removable battery cover. This is made up of plastic and can be removed off to access battery, micro SD card slot and micro SIM slot like Note 3. So let's see how we can remove it off. So this is how we can remove it off. So here is our micro SIM slot, and here is our micro SD card slot, and here is our 3000 milliamp hours battery. So you can also apply a custom battery on your LG G2. So this is a plus point of having Note 3 and of course LG G2. You can replace a battery of it. Both of these devices have similar kind of build quality, which some people think let them down, as both of them have plastic battery cover at the back. And I personally believe LG and Samsung is using plastic material on their phone to give people access to battery and making their phone lightweight with all these massive hardware and screen size specs. So that's why I think they are making plastic battery covers on these devices, and they are using a plastic material to build them. Now let's see what ports these devices have for us. So on the right hand of G2 we have got nothing. On the left hand side we have got nothing, at the top we have got nothing, and at the bottom we have got a 3.5mm jack and micro USB port. On the back of this device we have got a volume rocker key with power on and off key. So these keys are a little bit frustrating for users, and LG thinks they have made a very wise step by putting it over here instead of putting it on the sides, because they have make a good use of their 5.2 inch True HD IPS Plus display on G2. Now let's see what ports we have on Note 3. So on the left hand side of Note 3 we have got a volume rocker key. On the right hand side we have got a power on and off key. At the top of our device we have got a 3.5mm jack. At the bottom we have got a speaker grill, and here is our micro USB 3.0 port. If you want to transfer file quickly on your device, you can easily do it by connecting a micro USB 3.0 port in it. Here is our S Pen, and of course on the front we have got one home button with two capacitive touchscreen buttons. So on Note 3 speaker grill is over here. On LG G2 we have got two speakers, one is over here and one is over here. So all the things are made up of plastic on LG G2 except its display. Now we are going to check a speaker quality of these devices from their external speaker, and for that I'm going to run a FIFA 14 game on both of these devices. And due to copyright issues I cannot play a music in this game, but I will show you a sound quality of these devices by listening to commentary on FIFA 14. So we are going to pop up a volume of this game one by one on these devices. Now first of all play a commentary on LG G2.
You're listening to Clyde Tilsley. Thank you for joining us. Andy Townsend is here with me for this
The volume
one.
is at full.
To be here today, Clive. This game is billed as a friendly match. We will see just how
On
friendly
LG
it is
G2
when
we
the
have
first
got
few
two
tackles
speakers,
go
one is
in.
over here, one is over here. So sound is looking louder on G2. Nice to see that. Now pop up a volume on Note 3.
You're listening to Clyde Tilsley. Thank you for joining us. Andy
So
Townsend
if I'm
is here
not
with me
wrong,
for
I
this
think
one.
both
Real
of
pleasure
these
to be here
devices
today, Clive. This game is
external
billed as a
speakers
friendly
are
match.
looking louder,
We'll see just how friendly it is when the first few tackles go in.
and they are making similar kind of sound in them. Now pop up a volume on G2.
You're listening to Clyde Tilsley.
I
Thank you
think both
for joining
of
us. Andy
these devices
Townsend is here with me
sound
for this
are
one.
looking
Real
similar
pleasure
to
be
me.
here today, Clive. This game is billed as a friendly match. We will see just how friendly it is when the first few tackles go in.
So there is a tie between external speakers of these devices in sound loudness. Now we will have a quick go at the dimensions of these phones. So Note 3 measures 151.2, which belongs to height of this phone, by 79.2, which belongs to width of this phone, and it is 8.3 mm thick and weighs 168 grams. And this is to compete against G2 measurements of 138.5, which belongs to height of G2, by 70.9, which belongs to width of G2, and it is 8.9 mm thick. So Note 3 is bigger in height and width, whereas LG G2 is 0.9 mm thicker than Note 3, even though Note 3 has bigger display than LG G2. Now let's see what type of camera we have in these devices. So on the front of these devices we have got a 2 megapixel snapper. On the back we have got a 13 megapixel snapper with a single LED flash, but back camera of Note 3 records up to 2160p videos, which is also equivalent to 4K. On the other hand, LG G2 back camera only records up to 1080p videos. If you want to look at a camera result of these devices and camcorder result of these devices, you can have a go at a description link which will direct you to a camcorder and camera comparison I have made on YouTube. Now talking about internal storage of these devices, Note 3 comes up with 32 gigabytes and 64 gigabytes of internal storage, and there is an option to put up to 64 gigabytes of SD card in it. On the other hand, LG G2 comes up with 16 gigabytes and 32 gigabytes of onboard storage, and like Note 3 you can put up to 64 gigabytes of SD card in it. Now let's talk about the batteries of these devices. So guys, Note 3 comes up with 3200 milliamp hours removable battery, which is 200 milliamp hours more powerful than the battery of G2. And from my daily usage, I have found that due to a micro USB 3.0 port on Note 3, its battery charge quicker than LG G2. However, you can buy a custom batteries from an eBay, which makes your phone life even bigger than their default batteries. Now let's have a quick go at the software of these devices. So both of these devices packs 7 desktop displays in them, which are customizable whichever way you like to customize them. You can jump between them, you can set a default display, and moreover G2 is running on Android 4.2.2 whereas Note 3 is running on Android 4.3. Now let's see what we have in the notification bar. So in notification bar we have different kind of toggles on Note 3, and we have also got a same feature on G2. So here we have some massive shortcut combinations on both of these devices, which you can edit easily by pressing this edit icon on your Note 3, and you can also edit them on LG G2 like this. So this is how these devices works, and you can also increase a brightness from a notification bar of these devices by maximizing them. You can also go for auto. Both of these devices have similar kind of features. So here we have Q Slide apps. So these are multitasking apps. So this feature is also available on Note 3. So when you press it, it's going to open a small display. You can make them a small display. These apps are not closed, these are opened. And you can do a same kind of thing on your Note 3 by taking out S Pen from your Note 3. So here you have to press a multitasking window, and then you have to draw a gesture. Press YouTube, so it's going to open a YouTube for you. You can also minimize it. So this is the same kind of feature that we have on G2. So both of these have applied a small apps, and these are not closed. Of course you cannot use S Pen on G2. Now let's see what else we have here. You can also edit all these features here, so you can go for anything you want to go. So these apps are not closed. You can go anywhere and you can watch all the things on YouTube. So these are some exciting features we have on G2 and on Note 3, which makes multitasking windows more useful for users. Now let's see what else we have in these devices. So in settings we have got a lot of motion sensors on our Note 3. On the other hand, we have got some exciting features on G2. We have got guest mode. So let's say if you don't want anyone to look at your personal things, you can enable a guest mode on your G2. Now let's see where it is. So here we have guest mode. Now you can enable the things you want to show your guest, otherwise you can disable them. So here you have to set a pattern to enable a guest mode. You can set apps. So here are all the apps I have settled for guests, and when you enable a guest mode, of course they wouldn't be able to see all the things that are running in your personal use. So guys, of course I cannot show you each and everything that these devices have in their software. We have another exciting feature on Note 3, and we have also got some exciting features on G2 which we haven't got on Note 3. So both are on win-win situation in software integration. So here we have flip to news. So here you can flip and you will get all the news from your favorite streams. You have to set all the streams by pressing this. Now you can edit all the news, personal things, social things. So this is a very exciting feature we have on Note 3. This is kind of blink fit feature on HTC One. So guys, to end this review, I just want to say that G2 and Note 3 are monster devices in terms of specs and takes users to another level of technology. Note 3 is integrated with AirView, which helps you to scroll down web pages by looking up and down into your device without touching a screen. If you are not sure what I am talking about here, have a look at my browsing comparison which I will made on YouTube, or just simply click on the annotations which are appearing at the left top, or else check out a browsing speed video link in description. So we have some exciting features on Note 3 and G2 like Smart Pause, look away from your phone and it will pause a video, look back, it will start it again. Once you get used to of these features, you will feel that your phone is helping you in getting things more conveniently. In other words, Note 3 and G2 is a heavily software driven phones. However, Note 3 is a S Pen capable device with some excellent features like S Note and many more. These features are also available on G2, but there is the absence of S Pen in it. So guys, don't forget to sub and like this video. Thanks for watching it.